Welcome, I'm the Deadwood Jedi. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video, and you guys have been asking about him all week. We have him, the one, the only, Mr. Ash is on the channel here to talk with us. We're going to talk a little bit about the Clan Boss draft, and mostly just catch up, because I haven't seen this guy in a little bit. He's probably the busiest creator in all of Raid. It's hard to nail him down, you know. I had to book this 3 months in advance. I had to, you know, talk to his publicist and his secretary. It was real rough.
True. I apologize. It's great to be here, man. It's great to be here. He finally made it happen. I appreciate you having me on, man. I love talking Raid with you.
Dude, you know I love having you on. We always have great conversations, so it's always a pleasure having you here. And we share a lot of the same viewers. You know, something about you. They seem to enjoy watching my stuff, and vice versa. So,
your viewers must be really smart. Both of our viewers, right?
They're some of the smartest people I know.
On YouTube analytics, you're absolutely right, because it shows you on the creator side. You can't see this if you're looking at other channels, but it shows you the top 10 channels that your viewers watch. And for me, it alternates between you and Hell Hades. Like every week, you're fighting for that #1 channel.
Oh, really? Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yes. We're making it. We're getting places.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what you're doing with the Clan Boss stuff is amazing. It's really cool because it's fresh content, and it feels like, frankly, there's not a lot of fresh content out there in the Raid YouTube world right now. It seems a little bit repetitive, but there is. We're talking about this a little bit off air, but there's a big turnover in Raid, you know, so there's a lot of new players coming in every day. So I think that actually plays pretty well for the audiences. But something like this, it feels special. It feels cool. That's why I think the Raid community, the content creator community, is just really the best I've ever been a part of. And I've been a part of a lot of different gaming communities, because you guys just do so many cool stuff like this, like the Christmas special and stuff like that. And I don't know, I could go on and on, but really cool
we've
stuff.
had so many of these kind of collaboration, like these CC contest collaborations in the past, but it's been a while. And I think a part of that is because we have been getting a lot of new stuff, right? We get new stuff from Raid pretty much every week, right? There's a new event coming. There's a fusion here. There's some kind of thing happening almost every single month, every single week, really. And so there is a lot for us to like kind of cover on the daily. But I think, as content creators, we lose sight of this a little bit because we kind of get in the grind. But I also think the players lose sight of this. Is like, this is a game. It's fun, right? And sometimes, especially when you've been playing it for a couple years, it can get a little bit stale. And so you got to find ways to make it fun for yourself. And I've been trying to do that lately because, like, I hit that point. I hit that wall. I was like, I'm not into the 3v3. I'm not into the Hydra thing. Like, I just like.
Why do people hate Hydra, dude? Why do people hate it so much?
Because
you're the Clan Boss guy, you know.
It takes so much time. It's manual, and on top of that, it's really hard. Now they just made some changes, so it is certainly a lot easier than it was before. And I think we're going to see more people get into it. But it doesn't have the flashy shards. I honestly. I don't like doing it. Like, I just don't.
The crazy thing is I used to like it, and then I got Mithrala, and now I'm just like no interest, right? Because I guess I was only doing it for Mithrala. But even beyond that, now I'm really seeing how tedious it is. It's just like because you can back out. It creates this issue where you always think you can do better, and then you end up throwing your phone against the wall or whatever and being like, dude, screw this, I'll do it tomorrow or whatever. And then it's the last day, and you're like, crap, I gotta get 3 attacks in,
I know. And you're not wrong about that. And my issue was like so they made these changes. So I always wait till Tuesday because I don't want to do it. So it's always the last day. But I ran a key, and it was a great key, like double the damage I would normally do, right? Because of the changes they made, which is good, right? It's good, make it more accessible. I like that. And it was a 45-minute run, so I was forced to be on my phone for 45 minutes. Now I know Clan Boss teams can definitely be 45 minutes run, but while that's going on, I can walk to the kitchen, get myself a bite to eat, grab a drink, use the restroom, take a nap, drive to Texas if I wanted to, and come back and the run's done. It's great.
Come back and you got a 10% chance at a secret shard. Or
exactly. So without the flashy rewards like a shard, without being able to click auto, really, it just is a very tedious part of the game. And I'm somebody that loves the game. I will watch a full Clan Boss run. I would watch a full Hydra run if I could click auto and know I can get decent results out of it. But like, it's just it's just the nature of the thing. And I'm like you. When it first came out, I was excited about it. I enjoyed it. But very quickly that joy went to, a little bit of frustration. But
yeah, and you probably disagree with me here too. But honestly, man, like there's too many damn heads in this Hydra. Like it's too complicated, man. Like, and I know you love this magic part of it, but like, gosh, you really have to get all the heads up on your computer or something and study them, or just have a great memory. If you're anything like me, though, I'm just like, what rotation is this again? Like, what team does well? I don't know. It just
I think that brings up the biggest problem with Hydra Heads. I don't know why we're doing a Hydra talk today.
I know, right?
It's a thing. But the Hydra Head, like the biggest problem with the Hydra Heads is you don't know which one's going to pop up when you beat one, and that means you have to prepare for all 6 heads, which means like the number of champions you can really use becomes a lot more limited when you factor that in. And that's the most frustrating part for me, is it doesn't give me the power to be very creative based off of what we're going against, and I just get very annoyed with that. So yeah, I'm with you. It's a very annoying part of the game, but this is what part of the reason why I came up with this clan boss draft idea, why I wanted to do this, is because I did this thing last month too, and where we have this DWJ challenge, right? And basically I tell the people, like, here's a template for a clan boss team, create it. You get the top 5 scores, you're gonna get some gems, and the next 5 will be random. So like we did all rare champions on the first month. We did a 3-man team this month. It's very cool. I'm very excited to be able to show that to people.
What was the? I'll check out the video. I'm sure you'll link it. But what was the best team in the rare? Or just give me a little teaser. Give me a little teaser about it.
I can't remember what the final score was, but it was. You know what? While we're talking, I will pull it up and I will give you the teaser on that one. But it was very good. Like, people were doing. I think the top score was at least a 2 key damage as a result. Like, it was not bad. It was nightmare. It was nightmare level because it's all only rare champions. But I mean, it was very, very fun and a good thing. But I was like, let's create some stuff for us, right? We can't just. I don't want to just rely upon Plarium, to give us the fun that we can do in this game, because we can do it ourselves. And so this draft idea came out, and I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love the draft, and it's been a lot of fun, and people seem to really be enjoying it. So we're probably going to expand it and do more of this stuff in the future.
Yeah, I was going to say, next time, count me in 100%. Are you going to do another clan boss type thing, or are you going to switch up to like dungeons and stuff as well? What are you thinking?
So I've had a couple of ideas. Actually, somebody suggested in one of the comments of these videos to do like a draft Olympics, where we go through a bunch of different places and score it based off that. And I think that's a really fun idea. So we might mix it up a little bit. Definitely we're going to bring in new rules, some restrictions, but this has been such a success. And, we've had a lot of support actually from Rain, Plarium, Banana Jam. And I definitely want to continue to do this. So you definitely will be seeing this in the future. It's probably going to be, I don't know, tri-monthly type of thing. It takes a lot of work to set it up and get everybody together.
I know. That's the thing. It's like, again, props to you for putting in the effort, not just the ideation of these events, but actually making them happen. It is a lot of work behind the scenes. So,
yeah. But you have to come out for one of these, because I cannot believe everybody's going like, "Where's Ash? Why didn't you invite Ash?" I'm like, all right.
You didn't invite me.
This guy's too busy.
Too late. All right. But yeah, the teams do look really solid, though.
So I wanted to bring you on, partly just to kind of go over that, partly just to hang out, but also just to, kind of go over what you see out of it, because I think a lot of people are interested in getting other folks' opinions, just like any sports talk show, like, so what did you think about this pick or that pick or whatever. I thought we'd go, just kind of cover a little bit generally on this. Well, first off, I think is the biggest question: which team do you think is going to win this thing? Because the polls are out. It's a pretty close competition, I think, but people have their opinions already. I've heard they're taking bets in certain clans, so I'm really interested to see what you think.
Dang, man, dang. All right, so let me take a look here. We have YSD. He has the Brogni team with Geo, Tyrant. We had Cold Brew with Krisk, Iron Brago, Aniri to extend, Martyr, counterattack.
Yeah.
Rocker in the Fat, I guess he's the DPS kinda with Brago.
Brings that ally attack.
Martyr, yeah. We got some Deadwood Jedi with Unkillable. Demitha team. We got Fushan in there, huh? Fushan.
Get that little speed aura, decreased defense.
I like that. Hades was rocking just a regular old 2-1 team. Lydia, Valkyrie.
Yep. Lydia, Valkyrie. That's usually enough right there.
Yeah, right. And then we have Scratch. Scratch's first round pick was Seeker. He did have the back-to-back, so he's going with some sort of a Batman unkillable Warcaster, Sir Nick. Ooh, and Draco and Ninja on the team.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of like Scratch, man. Maybe I don't. I like the two unkillable teams. I'm not just saying that because you're here, but I know it's unkillable, so I know it's going to work at least somewhat.
Will be sent to your PayPal in just a moment. Don't worry.
Thank you. But am I wrong in saying that in such a crapshoot of a draft, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like going with it's. I don't want to say safe as in you didn't take any chances, but it's safe as in you're guaranteed some damage, right? And I like the 1-2 combo of Draco and Ninja on the team for Scratch. I think that DPS is going to be tough to beat with Batman in there as well. So I guess I would go with Scratch's team. What about you?
Yeah,
take your DWJ hat off. How do you power rank these teams? Or are you saying neutral?
I personally feel very confident about my team. I feel like I did pretty good with my squad. And
Turvold and Fushan. Here I'm talking about Draco and Ninja. Turvold and Fushan should be plenty of DPS, and Mashald as well.
Yeah, but I don't think there's not a stronger DPS champion for Clan Boss than Ninja. He just smokes, doing damage. He's just really hard to tune, but with this kind of a team that Scratch has, he'll be able to fit him in. That's not going to be an issue. Yeah. For me, I really like my squad with the Turvold. Obviously, just can smack. The thing I think that my team has the advantage with is I also have Mashald, and he also smacks. So being able to have 3 damage dealers, I'm hopeful will be able to put me past Scratch's too. But Scratch has pretty high end gear, which is definitely we got a player power limit to kind of restrict how much you can build on these champions and stuff. So it's going to be interesting. I feel like it's going to be very close. And then those are probably the two that I think have a really good shot. And like you were saying, unkillable teams have a much higher floor than any other team. They're going to do a certain amount of damage, right? The question is the ceiling, though, because we have 50 turns. We only have 50 turns. So when you talk about,
that's true.
H has that Valkyrie with that shield. I would not be surprised if he can go, all the full 1,000 turn limit, right? I would not be surprised if, with Krisk that, what's his name can do, Cold Brew can do as well.
Cold Brew, yeah.
And the YST's got the same thing with Brogni and Troggy. It's a scary. It's not like a safe bet any way, shape, or form in this thing. I think.
It is true. So you were telling me that you guys can sub out one champion?
Correct? Yeah. We can sub out one of these champions.
Are you keeping Runekeeper, Dazdirk, or are you subbing him out?
So I really wanted to keep Runekeeper, and I did make this team work with Runekeeper. I will have a video of this team working not only with Runekeeper, but it's affinity friendly too, which is wild. I actually ran it on Spirit Affinity, but the big thing I keep coming back to, we're not fighting the clan boss. We're fighting the other creators. So I gotta take out all the stops. So I am subbing out Runekeeper Dazdirk. That is going to be my substitution.
And who you're replacing it with?
I'm gonna bring in. So this is a little bit of spoilers coming out right before the live draft, but that's okay. I think maybe we won't spoil everybody else's substitution, but we can spoil mine. But I'm gonna be bringing in Arbiter for Runekeeper.
Okay.
So slightly larger turn meter boost, still give you that increased attack. Also brings a weaken, which is pretty important just to make sure those debuffs stay up. So definitely made a little bit of a difference on my damage. That's my maneuver there.
Who's winning the polls right now? What do your viewers say?
Well, it's pretty hilarious. Hell Hades had a live stream the other day with the other 3 on. I think I was sleeping because I haven't had much chance at that. But apparently the polls across the board for anybody, like YST put one up, Hell Hades put one up, I put one up. Across the board, 50% of the people are picking me. So I got a little bit of pressure. Pressure.
Well, you are the clan boss master, man. So
I got a reputation uphold here.
Inherently on anyway, no matter what, right? But you have a solid team, man. You have a solid team. What do you think? My only issue with I love Cold Brew's team. I'm just not sure if that's going to be enough damage. His team would probably stay alive, I guess. I mean, you got Krisk and Brago.
He's got the ally protection from Krisk, but he doesn't have the double ally protection, and
Yeah.
he doesn't have shields. And I think those are the two things that are big, especially when you start to get really late into fights against the clan boss. That kind of stuff when you're trying to survive can be really impactful. But
yeah, because just risk with one extender is not going to be enough to keep the team alive. Right?
I mean, it's not to count it out, right? Like one, he can make a substitution.
He can make a substitution, add in whatever he needs.
Exactly.
But that's the problem. I feel like he needs two things. He needs like a really good DPS, and he also needs a shield champion or another ally protector or something, right?
It's just going to depend on how he can build that thing out. I think it's a little bit tricky. The other thing that he doesn't have is the weaken debuff, and I think that actually makes a really big difference damage wise. And so that's an interesting thing that I'm curious to see what he goes with on that team, because
YST's a crafty dude. I like that he went Taragi.
Real crafty. Man. Real
he
crafty.
He's underrated his raid knowledge. I shouldn't say underrated, but he's a really knowledgeable raid dude, you know?
Oh yeah.
I watch his videos all the time, man. I watch his like solo builds and stuff like that.
Right. No, he's got great stuff. Great stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man, I like his team too, man. Taragi, I built him and I have not actually run a clan boss team with the Frogman on it, but I hear he's pretty beastly.
Yeah, I was doing I did a video the other day, like maybe a week ago, talking about poisoners in raid, and my list of poisoners, it's probably not a perfect list, but I really focused. I said for clan boss, it's not just about putting poisons up, right? It's about what else do you do. And for me, Taragi was my number 2 rated poisoner, because when you go against Affinity, he can really stack the poisons up, because every time he gets hit, he has a chance of putting a poison on the boss. And then on top of that, he brings that ally protection. But there's a couple secret things about him. One, he does put a shield on all your allies. So when you pair him with a Brogni, you can actually grow that pretty big and stay alive. Been a lot of 100 million teams utilizing that. But the other sneaky thing about him is he heals himself before he puts that ally protection on. So you don't really have to worry about providing a lot of healing for him. And, you know, that risk of when someone gets hit, like, you know, the Skull Crusher thing, he always goes down to no health and then you have to heal him back up for the second AoE attack. You don't have to worry about that with Taragi, because when he puts that ally protection up, he's, you know, hefts himself up there, heals up. He's really, really good.
A beast. And then I was thinking though with Tyrant and Geo that there might be some like HP burn conflict, but you told me off air, because I kind of brought this up ahead of time, and you were like, yeah, but Geos will override Tyrants, and he could just potentially just turn Tyrants off, right?
Right. There's both of those are really good options. The interesting thing about that team, he's got damage mitigation due to the passive abilities of both Tyrant and Geomancer, because he'll have HP burn up the full fight. But the other interesting thing, when I was talking with him, boy, it was a great conversation talking with him, because like his mind, you were talking about, he's smart. He really got creative with this. I loved it.
Cool. That's cool.
But he was talking, but like I realized his team is not. His damage isn't as reliant upon his own champions hitting hard, because he's got reflection from both Geomancer and Brogni doing half that work for him, which is
true. And then he's got the passive pumping away on Taragi. It's an interesting damage team in terms of the sources. I agree.
Exactly.
I wonder who his sub's going to be. I wonder if it's going to be Deke. I like Deacon Armstrong, but he does feel, I don't know, maybe a little out of place on that team. Maybe I'm just making it up. I don't know.
Well, it's an interesting thing, right? Because like going at a 2-1 ratio is usually the best route to get your damage up, right? More attacks is more damage. Like, that's simple. But you know, he's got a really unique team, because he does get most of his that reflection from Brogni and the reflection from Geomancer is doing so much of the work. Maybe he doesn't actually have to go that fast, you know?
I will say though, man, there's a lot of champions that I would expect to be drafted that weren't even on the board. You know, like Cardiel, I would think would be on somebody's team. You know,
right.
I mean, there's a lot, but like, you know, maybe even Dark Kale. I'm a big fan of Dark Kale.
Dude, I was thinking that too. I was like, nobody took him. That would have been a good choice. He's really good.
I got to ask, who is your number 1 poisoner? Draco, Bad L,
Draco,
Dark Kale?
Draco.
Okay.
Yeah. That decreased defense, weaken damage, like he's tops.
Yeah, there's no Venom Mage. There's a lot of names that I would expect to be drafted somewhere.
Sure. No Vizier. No Venom Mage. There's no, Riho wasn't drafted, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people, I really loved Kyoku. If I'd gone traditional team, I probably would have taken her. Kyoku wasn't picked here. There are plenty of champions left on the board. I was trying to think. There's somebody else I was thinking that was like that's really good for this too.
I think Jintoro is really good for DPS too. He's one of my faves.
Yeah, that's somebody that I think Scratch actually forgot about him for a hot minute there, and when he went Draco. But I think Draco's obviously a great choice with the poisons, right?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely a lot of possibilities. One champion that I was thinking about, if I hadn't gone Turvold, was taking Varl the Destroyer from the Doom Tower. Like, 'cause that dude has a passive similar to Ninja's, so he can actually slap really, really hard.
Yeah. I haven't really played him much. I don't really recall his passive, but it's one of those.
It's one of those over time, his attack bumps up, right? Yeah, like it's a really interesting champion to use. Cool. Yeah, but there's definitely. I know. I was shocked too at some of the champions that weren't selected, like Cardiel Tuhanarok. I was like, "Where's Tuhanarok in here?" I don't think any of us have Tuhanarok, and I don't think any of us actually had Cardiel because we actually had to use our accounts. So it was like those are probably two of the big ones that we didn't have. Yeah.
That's true, right? That's true. And so you still prefer, obviously, you prefer Turvold in terms of the best champion, sheer DPS, single target for a clan boss?
We have a saying in our...
Otherwise, you wouldn't have went with him, right?
Well, we have a saying in our Discord, because people always ask, how do I use Ninja in this team? And so we have a saying, the first rule of Ninja, don't use Ninja, because you're so hard to speed tune. So I would say Ninja is the strongest damage dealer for clan boss in this game. I think that's a pretty safe statement. I don't think there's really any debate about that. However, when you're trying to craft a team from whole cloth, you just don't know what you're going to get. Turvold was a much safer pick, and Turvold is really close to those same numbers that Ninja can put up. So he's, I think, a really stellar option for this kind of a team. And for this kind of a team, he's definitely a better option for me as well, especially giving himself all those buffs. And, there's with certain builds, especially to Mythic teams, Turvold shines more because she extends the duration of buffs, which makes his damage even better. Dude. Yeah.
All right. Well, solid team, man. I think you're right up there. I feel like you who knows? I'll probably be wrong. We'll see.
I think it's going to be a close competition. Honestly, I've been nervous about it. I keep going back and forth. I try to talk a big game because that's what we do. But honestly, I'm a little bit nervous on how this is going to go out. Everybody else has sounded really confident, except for Colbert. But everybody else has sounded really confident through the course of this too. So I'm nervous. I'm nervous about how this will go down.
I can't wait to watch, man.
Dude, it's going to be great. And actually, if you guys are watching when this is premiering, it's actually going to be live 10 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. UTC on my Twitch channel, Deadwood Jedi. Twitch.tv/Deadwood Jedi. That's the one I was trying to say.
There it is.
But we're going to go over to your channel. We're going to take a moment here. We're going to do that right now. And we're going to talk about, various stuff. We're probably just going to, BS a little bit more. Just have a good time.
Yeah.
But definitely make sure to go check us out over there. I'll have a link to it, the video down below in the chat as soon as it goes live. And Ash, thanks for coming on, man. This is always a pleasure having you on here.
Pleasure is always mine, my friend. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Guys, till next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.